Hi there, it's Friday, 17th of July, and another winning day for members yesterday. They had 6 bets, 2 winners, which were I'll Be Back, which won at the SP of 3-1, and Damascus Steel won at the SP of 7-2. So subtracting the 4 losers and calculated at £40 level stakes, it was a day's profit yesterday for members of £100 exactly, which means that so far this month, members have now made the best part of 700 quid. In fact, it's £8 short. Members have made this month so far £692 profit. Now, I was going to say, why don't you become a member? I've been mentioning that for a long time, and a lot of people haven't been. A lot of people have become members, but also a lot of people haven't. And I've been wondering why. I've got I wrote a sheet of notes here. You can see it. I'll go through it quickly because it'll help me keep to the point. Why are some people not joining? Well, it's well known, I've made it well known on here, that you need £2,000 working capital to run this thing, because essentially we work at 2% of working capital, or the betting bank as we call it. And that's explained below this video. If you look below the video, there's a caption. Look below that, there's mention of membership. Click on that and the page will expand and you will see the staking plan. And you also see how to operate on Betfair if you prefer to use Betfair rather than bookmakers. So there's some interesting things on there. But anyway, you will see the staking plan, which essentially says, yes, we need £2,000 working capital because we start off using 2% of that, which is, of course, £40 for stakes. And if the capital shrinks because it's a losing day, we still use 2% of the reduced bank for stakes. If the bank increases, you use for the following day 2% of that increased bank. But the important thing is, I say, don't start with 2,000 quid. Start with, say, £100 and just bet 2% of that. That'd be £2 per horse staked. Until you get used to things, until you get comfortable with things, and until you see the profit coming in, then you can increase your capital, which obviously will increase your stakes, 2% of a bigger amount. But I think that some people are worried about losing their working capital. Well, bear in mind that if we have a losing run, and we do sometimes, then the bank, as the bank shrinks, so your stakes shrink. Still 2%, but of a smaller amount. And then when the bank grows again, you start betting more. So it is pretty safe, to be frank, when you think about it. Another reason why people may not join is they say, oh, I can't lay hands on £2,000. Yes, I know I can start with 100 quid, just £2 stakes, and then add to the betting bank, to the working capital. But where do I get that extra money from to add it? And I would say to you, well, if you want to find the money, you will. You know, you found 1,000 quid for that big fat TV. Maybe you got 2 big fat TVs, one in the lounge, one upstairs. That's 2,000 quid. Your car. Well, I don't know if you bought it second hand. If you did, what, £6,000 or £7,000? If you bought it new, what, £27,000? Holidays. You find the money for that. I could go on, but you get the picture. If you want 2,000 quid, You can find it. You know you can. Bear in mind, all businesses need working capital. And I run this thing as a business for you. Uh, all right, it's horse racing. It could be trading baked beans on the internet. Doesn't matter. It's a business, whether you're trading baked beans or whether you're backing horses in the right way. I'm not talking about having a flutter or a fun bet. I'm talking about doing it seriously. Some people say, it's just gambling. Of course, there's luck involved, but luck works both ways. In other words, it can go against you or work in your favour. For instance, when it works in your favour, your horse may be running second, but the horse in front stumbles, which is bad luck for that horse, but it's good luck for yours. So basically, bad luck and good luck cancel each other out. What remains is the skill element, the picking of the right horses. Another objection is my fee, which is 50 quid a month. And I've arrived at that because simply it's 10% of 500 quid. Now, our profit aim is between £500 and £700 per month. We're doing much better than that now, but I'm talking about good months, bad months. We're looking, generally speaking, between 500 and 700 a month on average. So, it's a business expense. My fee is a business expense. It's, one of those things. There are expenses in business. Because I'm not doing this as fun bets, I mean, there's no such thing as a fun bet as far as I'm concerned, but I'm also lowering risk by not doing other things. For instance, not betting in the big festivals, because the form in big festivals, some of it, you could hardly put a cigarette paper between the form of one horse and the form of another. There is also a lot of fiddling going on. In other words, because the prize money is pretty huge at some of these festivals, some owners, trainers run their horses previously over the wrong tracks, over the wrong distance, the wrong this, the wrong that. So it'll lose, lose, lose. Every time it loses, the odds increase the next time it runs. So by the time it runs at the festival, its odds could be, 10 to 1, whatever. And it wins. And if you do look at the results of these festivals, you're looking at 16 to 1 winners, 25 to 1 winners, 33 to 1 winners. Leave the festivals alone, is what I say. You see, I'm not after glory. A lot of people are saying, I backed so and so at Cheltenham. I love Cheltenham. Well, let them have it. I'd rather have a Class 4 race at Doncaster or wherever, rather than going into the festivals. I'm not after glory by picking horses in prestigious races. I'm looking simply at profit. Nothing else, no emotion involved. I'm just looking about profit. If you're serious about profit, then please become a member, because then you'll experience at first hand what happens. And what happens is that you make serious money. So if you want to join, just look below this video. There's a caption, look below that. It's a couple of lines of type. I've already said click on those few lines of type because the page expands and you see our staking plan and lots of other stuff. But you also see my email address. Just send me an email with the word membership in the header and I will set you up today. And today there are 6 member bets. You'll get all of those and all the member bets for the next 30 days. Now, today, as I say, there are 6 member bets. Unfortunately, I can't give you one of them free because you get every 8th member bet free. So tomorrow you should get one free. So long as we've got 2 bets tomorrow, you will get the second one completely free of charge. But as I say, do think seriously about becoming a member because there is serious money to be made. That's it for now, and I'll speak to you in the morning around 10:30. Bye for now.